print project. Then here nothing is open except the create a new position.
Okay.
So you have multi-entry. This is ZHK nano flat. This is for ships. This is for pools. This is for Europe. Nothing you can use. You can use only the ZHK.
Okay. What did you say? Is that's for ships?
Something for ships. Yeah.
Okay.
Special application for ships and submarines. For Kuwait, we have only the ZHK. This is the European certified unit. ZHK. Okay. That's where you push ZHK.
Okay.
Then unit reference. How would you like to call it?
Any tag.
Let us use the same one.
AHU
1X-60.
We'll help you.
601, okay?
Yeah, we'll help you.
So we'll say AHU dash
1X
1X
dash 601.
601. Okay. You should give it a name and a number. So we will start gradually 001. So let's say this is 001. 001.
Okay.
Okay. Description if you would like to add. Serving ground floor, located in mechanical
zone
room.
1. Serving zone 1.
Zone 1. It's 1 unit?
It's 2 units actually,
Two
but
units.
Same capacity?
same capacity, 2
okay.
units.
Just do it 2 units. Can I have a pen, please? Thank you. So, we are talking about an HU. Let's say we are talking about a mixing box.
Okay.
Then you want, let's say, a pre-filter.
Okay.
Then you have a back filter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have a
Cooling
cooling coil.
Okay.
fan.
You may have a heater, for example.
Okay.
Then you have the fan.
But there's any blank space between here and here?
It will show you automatically. The minimum requirement will be directly giving there. If you want to add an empty box, I will tell you how to add an empty box.
But no need for us to select. Standard unit, it will automatically.
Especially for the heater, which is minimum safety. Software will always warn you.
Okay. No, but it will automatically select.
Yes.
So we just need to give. Okay, you'll show us.
Yes, I'll show you. So, first of all, it's a supply unit, stacked unit.
Okay.
Don't go for the stacked. Stacked, Stefan will help you because you need to build 2 units above each other.
Okay. Okay.
It's an exhaust unit, side-by-side unit, and light exhaust unit. So it's a supply unit.
Okay.
Is it indoor or outdoor?
It's outdoor.
Outdoor. So you have to select it as you have indoor, hygienic unit, hygienic rooftop, external unit.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you have an idea about Eurovent certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have certification.
Yeah. Now we have 2 approved Eurovent units.
Okay.
One with T2 TB2
Okay.
and one with T3 TB2.
Okay.
So I think you always specified T2 TB2. This is the highest approved unit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
That's for
different.
hospitals.
T2. This is about only thermal transmittance. It has nothing to do about anything. So let us always use ZHK Innova.
Okay.
If you want a cheaper unit, you can use the ZHK 2000. But let us use the ZHK.
You said once again. You said HK. Nova.
Innova.
Okay.
Okay. Just SI units. Let us always just set up before we start the SI units. The flow.
Okay.
We'll do it by CFM. Just set it up by the CFM. Water flow by GDM.
Okay.
Water temperature by centigrade. Heating capacity and cooling capacity. Let's do it by BTU. Electric power qubit by kilowatt. Heating element, cooling energy, kilowatt hour. BTU. So it will be easier. Just save it as a default for this project. Okay, what's the CFM we have here? 37?
37,000.
Exactly.
100, I guess. 37,100.
Now we specified, just I enter the CFM. Now this is the most important thing. The modular unit comes into boxes, box sizes. The one which specify, you have to select the coil velocity over the velocity of the air
Okay.
over the coil.
Okay.
500, not more than 500.
500, sometimes
500.
people asking 400, some people asking 450.
Okay.
So this is the coil.
Okay.
See, this is damper, speed of damper, humidifier, whatever. You coil above the coil. This is feet per minute.
Yeah, so it should be less than 2.5.
2.5. So you want something less than 2.5. You have this unit size 30 over 24. You have 27 over 27.
Yeah.
You have 36 over 21.
Yeah.
So you just have to select your one. Yours. Now,
6 over
yeah,
27.
36 is the width, 21 is the height.
Okay.
So if you want a smaller unit, use the first digit to be smaller.
Okay.
Okay. So which one you want to use?
36 by 27
36.
by, sorry,
No, 36 by 21.
yeah,
Okay. This is 2.4.
2.4.
Okay.
And if it is higher velocity, we need to put a dip eliminator or automatically.
Automatically, the thermometer will be done.
Okay. It's for maybe
Yes.
congested
Yeah.
space. Yeah.
Model is ZHKI. There is nothing else ZHK Nova. Here you can change the sheet thickness of the unit. This is the standard. Whatever is coming here is a standard.
Okay.
1 milli in, 0.7 milli outside.
Okay.
This will not affect performance. It will not affect
But
everything.
it's
It's
based
only
on
construction.
Construction. Okay.
So nothing else in there. Just I will say okay. Here it will ask you to select some important features for the unit. If whatever is selected is the minimum standard.
Mm-hmm.
Now here I say don't use. This is not for designing. This is for selecting the unit for contracting.
Contracting. Okay.
AHU inside, you want it epoxy coated. You want the guides of the frames to be galvanized coated. It's a feature, special feature for the unit. Hygienic sealant, hygienic as per VDI.
That is as per all. This is really all as per our specification.
Yes.
And
Now,
type of
yeah.
okay.
When you have selected as outdoor unit,
Okay.
directly it came weatherproof, roof flat.
Okay.
It came directly, so you don't have to select anything else. Just close it.
This will not affect the size of the unit, right?
No, not one.
Okay.
Not one. Okay. Now, here we have to build the unit, and here is the components of the unit.
Okay.
So we have here. You can whenever you tilt the mouse, you can see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So this is front panel, in and out, opening, empty section, intake outlet. We will not use this. This is very turning section. If you have a turning section in the unit, this is also no. You will never get in a normal unit. Mixing box, filter sections, heating coil, cooling coil, anti-frost frame. Forget this is for Europe. Silencer if you want to select an attenuator also, but this is better to sell to Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
This is a normal fan.
But we can do an in-house selection.
Yes. This is a black fan. A diffuser for the black fans if you want. Humidifier. Energy recovery. Bypass section. UV light. Refrigerant circuit. Horseshoe pipe. A lot. But basically for normal units, we will use empty section, filters, heater,
Okay.
cooling coil, fan.
Okay.
Discharge air plenum will also discharge air plenum something is there, right?
Yes.
That is also there, right?
Yes, but if you need something special, please send to Stefan.
Okay.
Even me, I don't have. Maybe he has to go to
Okay.
construction department. So we will first put an empty section. I just click, so it will show you simple mixing box.
Okay.
Now this is the mixing box.
Okay.
Then he is asking you what are you going to select next?
Next,
To the left, to the
okay.
right. Now this is the right, this is the left, to the right. But we are selecting
To the
to
right,
the right.
yeah.
So next section is the right. Oh.
But the mixing box opening and all no need to give. We have to give.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now he is telling you the fresh air and fresh air AU1, it's this one, and the circulating. You want the return air from the top, fresh air from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can select. You can do it full opening, you can do it part opening, you can do it vertical.
Okay, okay.
Full face also.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Okay.
whatever you want,
So if I want to take the fresh air that side also, it's possible.
you can. But this is as a designer, normally we don't face.
Okay.
Contractor will ask for left
Okay,
and right.
okay, okay.
You just have, you want a mixing box, and later on he will
Okay, okay.
modify his deck. So
the size of the mixing box will already come as per our airflow.
Whenever you enter the 36,000 class, it's done.
Okay.
Okay, so it will just directly draw the empty box.
Okay.
So later I will go for
Pre-filter.
filter. So you have filter sections. It will give you bag filter, panel filter, auto roll filter, band filter, absolute filter, activated carbon filter. And the last option is pre-filter with bag filter. This is one section.
We'll use that, right? No,
Yeah, sometimes we use panel as separate and bag separate. Sometimes we use combined.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to the specification normally. But let us do two sections. So we will use panel filter.
But the selections which you are sending, you are using as a one unit or separate?
No, two.
Two. Huh? Okay.
It's
But is there any difference in the type of filter in both the cases?
No.
Both are
no,
same.
it's only that two filters will be mounted on one frame instead of having two frames. It's construction issue only.
So why do they go for combined?
Cheaper.
Combined is cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
And is there any benefits for going into
No,
separate?
the unit will get
Smaller.
this smaller. Yeah. It's a lot of consultants want it combined,
Okay.
and some people say no, make it separate.
No specific reason
No,
for that.
no. So it gave this is the pre-filter it came. Now we will go
And for maintenance purpose, we have to remove both the sections together, or like if you want to do maintenance on, if you want to remove the pre-filter, you need to remove both the section together. And
no.
You can do one, even if it is together.
Yes. Now we will use a back filter. We'll select the back filter. Directly it came.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us add. Actually, you don't need an empty section between the back filter and the cooling coil, because when you turn off the machine, this back filter will flow down, so it will be an empty section, and there is always a door. So let us choose the coil. Let us select the coil, and we will keep an empty section between the cooling coil and heat.
Heater, yeah.
Then we'll use a coil. It will give you H2O or evaporative cooling.
Okay.
If you want a DX coil or a chilled water coil, so we will use a chilled water coil. It directly came. If you see there is always a space, this is the minimum required space.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we'll do an empty section.
Empty section going minimum is 300.
Wait. Now we are building the unit. Later we will add whatever details you want.
Later.
This will just we are building the unit. Okay. And then heating the unit.
We don't have heating in the stage, but we will do.
I will just write something.
And we are mentioning in the specification that UV light need to be provided within the unit.
UV light Stefan will select for you, because they need to contact the supplier. This is a special application.
But do we need? Does it increase the section?
Yes,
size?
of course. There's always a 610 section. He will always just put an empty section of 610.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then you are set.
But where do we put that section beside the cooling coil? The
What
UV light?
is the hygienic unit? Why you are putting a UV light?
We are calling for UV light in this project. I think it's either a requirement from TP or something. We are saying we need a UV light section.
Now UV light has two functions. Whether it will kill the
hygiene-
microbes.
Microbes, yeah, hygiene function.
Yeah, but two things of light. Sometimes you just have to want to put a light over the back of the coil
Okay.
to disinfect the
This
coil,
is
or
for-
to disinfect the whole air.
Disinfect the whole air.
Whole air is very expensive and it will take a strong power.
It was written for that. But what
Yeah.
about the other one?
The one is just to have light over the back of the coil.
For maintenance.
Not for maintenance, to kill the always, because germs will be on the wet side.
Okay.
So that will be before the coil.
After the coil.
After the coil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll have another empty section after
Yeah,
the coil.
yes.
Okay.
So
That means you're saying it is more expensive to have the UV light, which is going to
full air stream.
full air stream.
Yes.
Okay.
Then heater. There is a steam heater. There is what we are
Electric heater.
electrical heater.
It's all 600 mm.
Better to go to 600 mm.
Okay.
The empty section, what is the width of the empty section that you
Now
normally
our
have?
standard sections is you have to use 610,
Okay.
then 610 over 2, which is 305,
Okay.
then 152.
Okay.
This
so-
is construction wise as
Fine.
Euroclima. Maybe other
Fine.
supplier will allow something else, but
okay.
Euroclima will allow only these three because it's all standard modules.
Okay, but for the UV light, we'll need to have
610.
600 mm.
Yeah.
Okay, 600.
Now it's a black fan or a belt-driven fan specified in the project.
Plug.
Black fans,
Yeah.
They were asking for
Yeah, because in our AHUs we have specified plug fans.
black fans.
Yeah.
for this project.
Yeah, for this
Okay.
So you have here a normal fan, centrifugal fan with belt drive, and you have here a black fan.
Okay.
You just select black fan. Plug fan will tell you.
This is
Select
like the
the
wrong
plug
section,
fan.
yeah.
It's came a plug fan. Okay.
This is
the
already
unit,
there.
the unit is done. After we finish the unit, construction, you have to lock it.
Okay. It's important, huh? Sorry? It's important.
Yeah, you cannot again change the construction unless you unlock it. But when you
Okay.
just finish the construction, just lock it. Then it will come for you the very general input data
Mm-hmm.
to actually select the unit. Later on, you can modify and add more details. But this is the minimum requirement to
Mm-hmm.
actually build this unit.
Okay, okay.
First, it will give you section by section, as you can see. Okay.
If we directly have the mixed air condition, no need to give the
Exactly.
fish
And
air.
normally we don't mix. You give us normally the air on coil, which is the mixed condition.
Mixed
Yeah,
condition,
mixing it.
So, but here only for sizing, you need just to give, for example, if you are putting fresh air percentage of 10%,
Yeah.
so you don't have to have a big dam.
Okay, okay.
You have just one, use just one small dam.
But we can even if ignore this if we want.
You
we
can ignore.
Okay.
Okay. Then you go down. The panel filter.
Just one more thing. If we mention over there, it will automatically use the psychometrics and give the on-coil condition, right?
It's difficult. Sometimes it's giving problems, sometimes it's giving
Okay.
error, and normally we don't select it.
Okay.
We don't calculate it.
Okay.
Normally,
Okay.
consultant will provide.
So we'll only do on-coil conditions we'll
Exactly,
put in
in
the
the
cooling
coil.
coil.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we just need to select the pre-filter grade.
MERV 8 actually.
Yes.
G3 or
It's a
G4.
G4. Okay?
G4.
So
yeah.
standard is G3. Just use the G4.
Okay.
Here sometimes if you want to specify the supplier,
Cam filler.
we have AF, cam fill, and general filter.
I think cam fill or AF is what we prefer mostly.
It's cam fill.
Yeah.
Then you go to the back filter. You can specify the supplier as well.
Cam fill. Yeah.
Filter media, I tell you, keep it as
Default,
optimized.
Okay.
Just select the grade, whether it's F7, F8, F9,
I
F10.
think F7, right?
Okay.
That's MERV 13.
Yeah, F7 is my filter.
13, yeah.
You want F8, you can. You want
No,
F9.
F7 is.
Okay, F7. Okay, now we reach to the cooling coil.
Okay.
Air on coil.
Okay.
24.7. Can you check it over there?
Just
That email if you open.
Yeah.
It's in Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit,
Yeah,
okay.
75, so it's 23.9. 23.8.
23.
Point
We
eight.
can change by Fahrenheit.
Okay, yeah, that's much better.
You can do it right now.
Because I have to go back there. And the assignment. Temperature.
Degree Fahrenheit. Last one, yeah.
So what is the humidity? Humidity just to make it also degree, not percentage.
That will take the wet bulb.
Yes.
That's better, yeah. Okay.
It took us out from that one.
Okay.
But no problem. We just
Same thing, yeah.
it's all the same. So
Okay.
it's the cooling coil again.
But it shows red in other things. It will.
No, everything is red. Whenever you push, it will be red.
Oh,
green.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So it is
75 and
74.8,
yeah.
And 63.7.
63.7. So 74.
74.8.
63.7.
3.7. Now here you have to specify whether you want an outlet condition or you want a BTU.
We need outlet condition, I think 55.
So you are using always the outlet condition.
Yeah,
So 55. Okay.
This out condition will be off coil,
Of course.
not supplier condition, not after the fan.
Exactly. This is your air of coil. Your water temperature
44 and 60.
60.
Yeah.
Here you can specify the maximum pressure drop inside the coil.
16 feet, I think. See, as per
16
immediate-
feet, 20 feet is 60 Pascal. This is 35 Pascal. This is like 12 feet.
12 feet, yes.
You can increase that.
As per MEW, there is a
Here you can change it. Just make it 40 kilopascal. You are there. You are safe.
Yeah.
You want to keep it 35 also. You are safe. No problem. Fin spacing, 2.5 milli.
Yeah, 2.5 milli fins per inch. This is the fins per inch, right?
No, this is the 2.5 milli. يعني
But that will give the fins per inch.
Yeah, fin per inch. The
But
2.5 is 2 or 2.5. This is the 10. This is the 12.
Okay.
You want it?
We are using usually 12 fins per inch. We don't go more than 12 fins per inch.
I think here there is fins per inch.
Fins distance, yeah.
What is it?
Fins distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will make it fins per inch.
Fins per
Fins per,
yeah. Then no, it didn't select. It didn't select.
Okay.
No, coil section.
Okay. So I'll give you 12.6.
Okay. Okay.
It's never actually 12. It's 12.6 and 10.1.
Okay.
Okay.
12.6.
There is 15.8, what we don't do here in Kuwait, and there is always the very small. This is not for Kuwait condition,
Mm-hmm.
so you just use the 10.1. Then here you have to forget this. Keep it optimized. This is called geometry.
Number of rows, anything?
No, wait. Now here is an important one. You have to select the material of the copper aluminium.
Copper.
So you are specifying copper.
Copper, yeah. I think the specification calls for copper.
And he selected for you copper.
Yeah.
No, he selected copper aluminium before. It will have a very minor change on the.
But that's only for pricing.
Heat
right?
transfer. No, heat transfer.
Heat transfer also
Yeah,
it
of course,
affects.
of course. So better, if you keep it this one, it will always give you copper aluminium.
We will check the specification. Either it will be
And
copper.
you
Yeah.
can then select. This is copper aluminium, and the header copper aluminium header is copper. Then he will specify the frame of the coil.
Everything. Okay.
This is, just let us use copper aluminium, the
Okay.
normal one. Okay. Then if you make apply, calculate. He will calculate the cooling coil.
And the thickness of the coil and all you are using standard.
For the thickness of the frames.
Thickness of the coil, the cooling coil thickness.
Standard.
Standard.
You cannot this one. Now it will give you many options.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here it says how many rows.
It will give you many options. Now what we do have here, I have here a price one for me, but for you we will not have it.
Okay.
So then they will give you the depth, if there is a capacity reserved, how much pressure drop of water, kilopascal, how much pressure drop.
But here row is 8.
Yeah, this is a 8 row coil, this is a 10 row coil, 11 row coil, 13 row coil. This is the geometry of the coil 60 by 30, then another geometry is 40 by 34.
Yeah.
So this geometry does not serve our case because of a high row. So I will say go to 6 row coil, 5 row coil, 5 row coil. The pressure drop is 31 kilopascal.
So this must match with the initial size which we put. We selected one size from that list, right? For 2.4 coil velocity.
Yes, of course.
That should match with this
Of
dimension.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It will now change a little. Maybe it will go a little high, but
Okay.
it will remain
But
inside.
we should remember that and we can put that same.
You will show it now. You will
Okay.
see it again now.
Okay.
So let us select it. Now, this one, it will give you a 54.98 dry bulb and a wet bulb of 54.85. It's almost dew point. Okay. And you have a capacity of 998 BTU per hour and a sensible capacity of 798. Based on the air of coil. You give an air of coil, then also here he will calculate for you how much water you need. Water is water entered at 44, it got out at 60 and 124 GBM.
Yeah.
124 GPM.
GBM.
Okay.
If you are not specifying the GBM. But anyhow,
No,
we don't care actually.
Yeah.
Normally we don't use your GBM
Yeah.
because this is the correct one.
Correct. Okay.
Sometimes designers will select something else.
No, we usually put one. If it is 16 degree Fahrenheit, 1.5 GPM.
1.5
GPM.
Normally this will be the
This
same.
is same.
A little difference because of something. Now this is selected. Just to go to the intersection. Minimum casing length, as I told you, this is 152. You can go for 304, 610. So let us do it 610 as an example.
This is where the UV light section will come.
UV light, it's an intersection. You
Yeah.
want to keep it for maintenance.
Yeah. Okay, and one more thing, if we have a cooling coil and then a heating coil and we have an empty section of 600, in that the UV light section will be...
Can't be fitted.
And do we need another empty section
No.
over that? That will be enough,
No,
right?
that's enough.
Okay.
Okay. Now, heater, what is your air and coil?
Air and coil is 60, 65 or 50?
65, room return air condition, right? For 68, is it? Or
50, I guess.
no,
MEW.
no, the room return in winter.
The room
That is 18 degree, I think. 18 degree will be...
It's 65, 18 degrees.
65.
65?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, whether you specify
Yeah, 65.
whether you specify the outlet or you specify the kilowatt. Normally, consultants specify the kilowatt.
Outlet.
Outlet?
Yeah.
Outlet, normally people do not do this, but how much you want?
No, okay.
I think we
no,
are-
KW. For heating coil, we say the KW.
We say KW always. The calculation
This is
will show
room
KW.
heating. Room heating.
Oh, okay.
Not
okay,
winter,
okay,
no,
okay.
not the
I thought
ERU.
ERU.
This is
okay,
HU.
okay.
Yes.
So
Fine,
here,
I get it.
here you can put the heating coil capacity. You can say
Let's say you have an 80 kilowatt here.
not 80. 80 is very high. You can say 10 kW.
10 for 37,000 CFM. No, this is 37,000.
This is small, really winter heating.
Yeah, but this is 37,000. It's a big unit. It's nothing
80 is
less
very
than
high.
40 kilowatt.
80 is very high.
Anyway, I think
Okay.
We don't have heating in the AHUs.
Yeah, usually we don't have.
I just
Yeah.
put a.
The Grand Atrium had it was 13 K.
Oh.
See,
okay.
when I selected, he directly told me for installation of a safety thermostat for a plenum length 152 is required.
Okay.
So he already gave a 15 centimeter safety for that. Just say close.
But we already gave the plenum's empty.
No, the
section.
plenum is between the cooling coil and the heater. Now there is a space between the heater and the fan.
Ah, okay, okay.
So he will give
Automatically, okay.
Now we go to the black fan.
Okay.
You have to specify the external pressure.
Okay, that we can 500 passes.
750.
750.
Yeah.
Okay. You can change the Nicotra if you like.
We'll put Nicotra. This is-
For a black fan, go for Nicotra, but
Yeah.
Comefry has more range for black fans.
Black fan. Oh, once I will just note that.
Comefry has a bigger range.
Both are okay for us. And even the other one,
Which one has a bigger range?
Comefry.
Coming free, okay.
For all, even centrifugal also?
No, for centrifugal both.
And there is a fan, we can select fan wall in this one?
Fan wall?
Yeah,
No.
because I think there's...
Are you specifying the fan wall?
some cases, some special units we may use. Okay, we'll send it
Send
to
to Stefan.
us.
But in this case, like a 37,000 air handling unit, will it have two fans or only one fan?
You can select two fans if you like.
Okay, it will
But
be
if
like
you
a
want
fan
to
wall.
select two fans, send to Stefan, because
Okay.
then he will select two fan. He will
Okay.
send to construction department to do two fans.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll
But
have
can be
to
done.
send to Stefan for it.
Yes, if you really want two fans.
Two fan, okay.
Okay,
But for sizing, but just put one fan.
okay.
Then specify that you want two fans.
Okay.
Later on, we can build it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
One fan is safe.
But if you,
It will fit inside the.
it will fit, two
of
fans
course.
will fit inside into...
100%. Three fans maybe can fit.
Oh,
Small fans.
okay.
So let us stick to.
So that will go to as a fan wall. It will go as a
Fan wall. We have never supplied in Kuwait yet. I don't know, but in Europe it's very famous.
But if it is three fan like that, it usually becomes fan wall. Like
Yes, three
600
fans becomes fan wall. But
600 by
for
600.
black fans, you can put the two, no problem.
And
Jahra Hospital is
what
two
about
fans.
the electrical power consumption?
Mhm.
It will be the same if I have one fan, and later on if I want to have two fans, so it will be reduced into half.
You can say yes, but the problem is in the motor steps because you don't have much steps in the motor. 11 kilowatt,
Okay.
17.5,
Yes.
22,
Motor
30,
capacity, yeah.
37.
Okay.
So maybe if you selected here 55, later on maybe it will come 8.5, 18 and
30,
18.
30, yes, so it will go to...
Water capacity will increase, but the absorbed power will remain the same.
Absorbed power will remain the
Remains.
same.
Connected
But it will
load
be
will
two more.
same,
Execution, just keep it optimized. If you make apply, calculate. Not objection component, okay. You have just to calculate the section.
Each section we have to calculate. Huh? Okay. Is it calculated?
Just calculate it. This is all your option
Okay.
of black fan.
Okay.
This is the diameter of the fan.
Okay.
You have 1 meter, 120 centi. You
Mhm.
have 1 250 and mostly 1 400.
So we'll mainly
Now,
go for the RPM.
This is price, forget it.
Mhm.
This is the normally what you look is the efficiency.
And the RPM.
Efficiency. This is the RPM.
But RPM here it's coming in revolutions per minute.
Yeah, RPM.
Okay.
1000 RPM. This is a big fan, so it will run always in a low speed.
Okay, this is like it's very big fan, yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 meter fan, 1 meter diameter. It's a 37 pounds here fan.
What about the motors?
Wait, it will come. See. Now this is the absorption power,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the selected motor. So
Okay.
mostly this is 30 kilowatt. This is 37 kilowatt. 45 kilowatt. Now the black fan will come with a motor from the supplier, so we cannot choose a different
Direct
motor.
driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever is there, you have to stick to it.
Okay.
So your best selection is 30 kilowatt, I think. 30
Okay.
kilowatt. This is the cheapest price also, and high efficiency.
But it looks very big also. I mean.
No, this is 1 meter. This is the smallest one. This is 250.
That's the smallest one that
The
we're
smallest
selecting
one you
right
can
now.
select.
Okay, I just since it's direct driven RPM, I'm like 14. It's less than 1450 RPM.
Yes. For true, the black fan
Mm-hmm.
for bigger wheels, it
Uh-huh.
will never exceed the 1200 RPM. But for small,
Okay.
it will reach 4000
But
RPM.
this is 60 hertz or 50 hertz selection.
No, 55 hertz selection. For a black fan, you have to specify a BRD drive.
No,
You cannot run without a BRD.
We will not go at 55. We may have to go maybe.
Why?
Because that is at the brim. I think
No.
most BFD supplied here
No.
are going to
No.
55.
100 you can go. I am running Jahra Hospital at 80.
But it will be more expensive, right?
No. Exactly the opposite. It will be smaller fan and cheaper fan.
Mhm.
When you are putting the specification, do not limit the hertz in the black fan.
Okay.
It is a high speed fan. This is the fun of the purpose of black fan. It's a high speed fan.
Okay.
It runs at very high speed,
Okay.
very quiet, very smooth.
Okay.
So do not limit the speed of the black fan.
Okay, that means the hertz of the drive
Can reach 200 safely. The motor can run up to 100 hertz without any problem.
But okay, we need to check that with the specification. Okay.
Check that with the
Yeah.
specification. Jahra Hospital,
There was
Sabah
a small-
Hospital.
I think it was a centrifugal fan. There was a small problem. with
Centrifugal fan.
55 hertz, I think.
Exactly, but for
Yeah.
black fans, don't
Black
stop
fan,
it.
yeah.
For centrifugal fan, we will not run over 50 hertz for sure.
Okay.
But for a black fan, it's a must. See, this fan has to run at 55 hertz. It has to. Otherwise, it will not reach this RPM.
Oh, okay. Okay, so lower the hertz, lesser the RPM. That's how.
No.
Okay.
Let's say this is the. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Motors
Mm-hmm.
985
Okay.
RPM,
Okay.
1450,
Okay.
2950.
Okay.
Okay.
Usually we call for 1450 RPM in our schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Usually, but
Okay.
for a black fan, please don't.
No need to mention the
Don't
RPM.
mention the RPM. Why? Because when I'm selecting a black fan, for
Okay.
example, this fan
Okay.
has a 1080 revolution.
Okay. But this is the
If
RPM.
I used a 4-pole motor
Mm-hmm.
and this is running in 50 hertz,
Mm-hmm.
means I have to run this over maybe 37 hertz
Okay.
to lower down the speed of the motor
So
to
this is a
1080.
2-pole motor?
So yes, this is for this case it's a 2-pole motor.
No, I think we are not calling for 2-pole motor.
No, this is the idea. This
Yeah.
is what we are trying. If you open the Kotra specification, which we sent to you for a black fan,
Mm-hmm.
don't limit the black fans in a 4-pole motor, because some fans, you will see smaller fans can be selected over 4,000 RPM. 4,000 RPM, you have to use 2,950 RPM. Otherwise, you cannot increase the speed from 1,400 to 400 to 4,000.
So all these motors
Before history,
Mm-hmm.
the motors industry, the motors higher speed was very noisy.
Mhm.
So consultant was limiting it to 1,040.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, the 2,900 is more smooth than the 1,400. Technology has evolved.
What about the bearing life and all those things?
You will get the same bearing life.
It will not get affected.
You will get the same bearing life. You will get the same warranty. This motor is supplied in Jahra Hospital.
Vibrations and
Zero. You can go and see Jahra Hospital double stack fan, 55,000 CFM, 4 fans above each other. You cannot imagine that the unit is running. Zero vibration. You cannot imagine.
But we are limiting. Usually we limit it to 1450 RPM and.
We see this in specification always.
Mhm.
When we go to construction, we always change it because we manage to convince the consultant.
Mhm.
For centrifugal fan, yes.
Centrifugal.
For
I
black
think,
fan, please don't.
It will be a disaster if
Yes.
it is.
For black fans,
Yeah.
Don't. And normally when people limiting the 1000 for 50, we can understand for fans bigger than 7000 CFM, 8000 CFM.
Do you have any?
But smaller fans of 3000 CFM, this is not realistic.
Do you have any case study on this? Anything like that?
You can check no. You can check
From
online. You can
factory?
see factories. Now, see
Okay.
now see all of your option.
Okay.
You can see all of your option. This is the only Qatar options.
Okay.
1000 RPM, 888,
Okay.
1119, 1080, 1119,
Okay.
1100.
Okay.
You don't have another option.
Mm-hmm.
If we select a centrifugal fan, you will see many options.
Okay.
So this will run over 55 hertz,
Okay.
and it can go maximum to 57 hertz.
Maximum 57.
But the motor cannot exceed the 57 hertz. But it will run on 55 to give you this RPM.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's say we selected the coil and the fan. This is the most important thing. You just have to complete the unit calculation.
This is like individually you have to press which all section? First you have to.
First, you have just to enter the data of each section.
Okay.
Then calculate the unit, so it will
But you independently calculated first
fan and coil.
Fan and coil. Okay.
To select it. If you did not, also it will show you now.
Okay.
Now this is the warning which he is giving to you.
Okay.
Connection of delivery section inside, AHU inside necessary, add doors or plenum accessible. He is advising you to add access door. Always you will get this because selection not CE confirmed. This is related to Europe. Europe it should be A+ unit, but in Kuwait there is not. So you just ignore it. He's just warning you from. Now the unit is fully built. He gave you 3 sections of the unit, weight of each section, total length, total width, all the required data he gave you. Now you are interested to add more doors, to add lights.
That's not
This is not the purpose, right?
No.
You can add lights, add doors, add access doors, add special sections, make it red, make it yellow, but you need this weight and dimension, right?
Yeah, that's more important.
Now, let me go back just, for example, to the filter section, to the bag filter section. Here, you will find, if you want to add more details, for example, if you want the frames of the filter to be galvanized, to be stainless steel, 3116, material component, nothing. Then the section, if you want manometer on the section, Magen-Hillick, inclined manometer, pressure test point in the section. This is all accessories.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Accessories.
Yeah.
This is not for designers.
We are calling it in the specification.
You are calling it the specification. We are selecting according to the specification.
Yeah.
Same for cooling coil. You can select a lot of things. Coil easily removable, U-type, SPC. You want sometime coil to be calculated as bare AHRI.
Yeah.
We don't recommend, always calculate as Eurovent.
Okay.
Don't take this.
But so that means your units are HRI and Euro 1 certified, right?
It is a Eurovent certified.
Not
The
HRI.
coil performance is Eurovent certified. Everything is Eurovent certified.
Everything we
The
are
software is Eurovent certified. Some consultants before were specifying AHRI certified. 99% you will get the same coil.
Correct.
Sometimes you will get a different coil, but we don't recommend because all are European manufacturers.
Yes,
So
okay.
please stick to Eurovent. Then you can select the drain band material. It's a GI, it's a stainless steel, it's a flat, triple pitch sloped. So same for the heater. You can select if you want to protection over the heater. It's all accessories. Now just one thing for the fans, I just want to show you. You can also, but for motor here you can, he is selecting for us IP55 motor.
Yeah.
If you are specifying IP65 or normally people are specifying
Yeah,
IP55. And here he is selecting 37 kilowatt motor,
Okay.
6 pole motor.
Okay.
Why?
So it's smaller.
Because
So that's what I was
the RPM is 1000. So he selected by
That's why I
automatic.
was asking why.
Yeah.
So this is like not
See,
1450.
yeah, if you see, even I cannot control it.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. So
I
it
cannot
will be a
control it,
smaller
see?
RPM,
Ah.
so it is lower noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot control it. I cannot change it. I thought I can, but actually I cannot.
No, it's better. It's more pole is better.
See frequency. So let me see if I can change. Yeah, this is the IP. You can reach to IP67.
IP55 is fine.
55 is fine.
Yeah.
In the airport, they're specifying 65, for
Yeah.
example. Oh, keep 50 default. Forget it. Nominal voltage. Supplier, if you want to change supplier. If you want to use
Mhm.
here, see, this is Nicotra Siemens.
Okay.
We just used Nicotra, so. But I cannot change. For example, I thought I can change the heads, but actually the poles, but I cannot change it.
No, poles, 6 poles is good.
6
Actually.
poles. But in some cases, you will get 4 pole or 2 pole.
Yeah.
If it's a small fan.
Yeah, but we prefer to have it 4 or 6, which is
I
better.
cannot control it. See, as
Yeah,
you see,
okay. Yeah.
I cannot control it. It's coming from the fans supplier.
But based on the RPM, we can check.
Based on
if it is,
RPM.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So when it is okay, then the unit is calculated, finished.
Yeah.
I didn't make any changes. So just if you want to change, if you go to the mixing box, you have if you want to mix the air, and
Okay.
here you have the opening, which is the top air, top opening, right?
That's for the fresh air. Which
For the return, let's say, or the
Oh,
fresh air, and this is the. This is a little bit different than the software which I have, because normally I can change this to 100 up to 90 to make it smaller.
To size it.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
So and how do we print the result?
Yeah, no, because I made a change, see?
Yeah.
But no, no. I cannot control it here. Let's make it, keep it big file. As a designer, I have an option to control it, but this is a limited version.
Okay, okay. For that size of the
Size of the
member.
number, yeah. But this mixing box size is enough.
Yeah.
As per the flow, it will give you the minimum
Okay.
mixing. Okay. So this is done. Just save the unit. Unit is saved. You can just print it.
Printing, there is some problem.
We have to select. You want to print performance, or a drawing, or a chart to draw it. Let's say performance.
Performance, the drawing.
Oh. The software is much more friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy software. Okay. This is your performance. You have 3 pages.
And is there
and you see amount of details there.
Yeah, 1 second.
Now this is not the same which Stefan sent before. This was a direct calculation. This is a full detail one.
Yeah.
Even see, you can see the octave bound of the fans, full specification of fan, of motor, everything. Here, if you want smaller information for submission, for example, you don't want to submit to the owner the full details.
Okay.
You will get, this is what Stefan printed for you.
Okay.
Smaller
Smaller.
details, not full details.
Okay.
Here you can get your fan curve. This is your fan
Oh,
curve.
but Stefan didn't send us the fan curve.
Yeah, but if you didn't request, for that.
Because it's useful for us to have the fan
And
curve.
this is the molar chart.
Moiler chart is not important.
Okay. Now here is your drawing
Moiler chart for wheel.
for the
we
cooling
want-
process.
Yeah, wheel we wanted, yeah.
And this is your drawing. Okay. You just can, it will give you the weight of each section and the total weight of the unit, how many sections there are. This is 3.5 ton machine. Just can print it. Just
Okay.
print it will.
It's good.
Okay. So let us save the unit.
We'll go to, okay.
Wait, please. Just exit. Save the unit, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you want to do same typical unit. Okay.
Okay.
You will use copy position.
Okay.
Okay. It will copy the original position
Okay.
into a new position called AHU-1X-602.
Okay.
Okay.
all the specifications, all the alignment will be the same.
Completely.
Only
You just
will
have to change the CFM. You will just get hit to hit data.
Okay.
You have to change to 002. Okay. Just change the drawing number and the position number. We
Okay.
talked about it later before. If you want to make it serving zone 2.
Zone 2, yeah.
Okay. It's a 2 piece. Let us keep it 2 piece. Okay. So he created another machine.
Okay.
It's called AHU, the new one. It is drawing 2, means position 2.
Okay.
Hit data just to change the name.
Okay.
Configuration. Same machine will be there.
I'm going to change the. Okay.
Yeah, you just go to model.
Okay.
How much is the new CFM?
Maybe 22,000. Let's rough. Okay.
Let's say,
Uh,
let's use a small one,
small
please. 3,500,
yeah.
because this will be a big
Better.
difference.
Yeah.
3,500. Okay. You have to select a new model box.
Okay. 2 point.
You have here 2
Oh,
point.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Same, it's just
Okay.
because of the heater. Just no. اجتماعا شوي. You have to select a new fan because you
Okay.
change the flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
see this?
here,
See?
okay.
It's a 3,300 fan now. 3,300 RPM. And what is the diameter of the fan? 350, 35 cm. That was 1 meter. So bigger fan, smaller revolution. Smaller fan, higher resolution.
But we can go for this low.
Of course you can go to the 500 diameter
Uh-huh.
of 1,900.
Oh, that will be big capacity.
Bigger
Big-
fan
bigger
also.
fan, yeah.
So maybe the unit will be bigger.
Yeah. We try limiting it, but yeah.
But see, for example, this will run at 58 Hz, this will run at 57 Hz, this will run at 93 Hz.
But the other one, when we go down,
77, 57, 66, 44,
Sorry.
65, 70, 57. But as you see, you are going up, you are taking a bigger motor.
Okay.
If you are going
Yeah, yeah, because that's RPM changes. Yeah, it will.
you have a small diameter,
Mhm.
will run fast with a 3 kilowatt motor and give you the flow. But you say no, I want a smaller one, I want a bigger one, and less speed means bigger motor, means more power.
It's better to have smaller.
I know you can select. This
Yeah.
is your options.
Yeah.
Let's use the 500 RPM.
How much RPM was that?
I use a 500 milli. It's like 1,900.
Okay.
So directly, the unit became less. Everything came
Yeah.
the same.
Oh,
Just
this
always
looks big
filter, big filter. Don't have to look at the filters. Automatically the sizes will come. Just take care of the cooling coil. Just re-enter it. Be selected. Make sure about your data.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
74,
fine.
it's
Yeah.
nice one. Then again, just go to the section to it's talking it. Selected the coil automatically because this used the same 6-row coil. Maybe here you don't need a 6-row coil. So we just have to recalculate it.
Calculate, yeah. Oh, it is not recalculated.
It's not recalculated. Yeah, here because he already selected the coil. So just return this back to optimize,
okay.
please. Apply, calculate. It will recalculate.
Oh,
again.
what did you change?
I changed the heat exchanger type.
Oh, okay.
He used the same old coil because I
Okay.
made a copy paste. Just return it back to optimize, then press calculate. It will calculate automatically. 7-row, 9-row. You have here 6-row coil. You have a 5-row coil.
We'll take 6.
Again, this is the same data which you are requesting.
Yeah.
Calculate the whole unit. So maybe you'll take some time just to build the unit, then
Yeah.
copy paste it,
Okay.
You'll get like
Yeah, we get it.
So only the fan and coil section we have to recalculate. Coil section we have
fan.
to...
No, fan directly gave me the result because you change the flow. But coil you have to again take a look on it.
Coil we have to only change, return it to the heat exchanger type to optimize. And then select
recalculate it will
get the
recalculate.
okay. This is fine.
No, you can add if you want empty section between this and this. You can add whatever you want. You can.
Yeah.
It's your options.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is the weight. عازمي أنا باجتماع حبيبي برجع لك شوي بس. باجتماع أنا عازمي برجع لك ها. Okay, clear?
Yeah,
Question?
this is fine. Yeah, we
Yeah,
will
choose. I think.
Yeah.
We will do a selection. Maybe we'll
Do a selection. Anything you want, just give me a call.
yeah. Okay.
First time you'll find difficulty. After that,
Yeah. The soft file, is it possible to send you if you want to have a quick look? Is there any soft file like you can save this file so
import
that
it.
yeah, I can
you can import it to an ACP file actually.
yeah, then I can send you the file, or we can send you the file and then you can have a look on that file if it is correct. One sample
See,
example.
if it is a wrong, AirCalc will kick you out. See, it will not print out anything if there is something mistake.
Sure. Huh?
Sure, 100%.
Oh,
It will not print. It will keep giving you error.
It will not print.
No,
Not
it will not. You will not get this result.
Normal error, it will somehow.
Normal error, you can close it.
Okay.
Big errors, no way.
Okay.
No way. But
Okay.
anyway, you can
Okay.
send me the PDF. I can take a look on it. No problem.
Or we'll try to summarize it. Just we'll see. We'll discuss how.
We have
Okay.
video now.
Fine. Okay.
Sorry for the
You are
video.
saving it?
Yeah.
She's saving it, so it's fine.
No. Okay.
Just we don't want any RFIs
Yeah,
because
no
of our
problem.
data. That's why any.
No,
yeah.
if you select this, you will not get
Yeah, okay,
RFIs.
okay.
So just save the image. And so on. So copy position.
Okay.
If I'm sorry. Let us just let me show you something. Because if you would like to add something, for example, for one type of the unit,
Yeah.
you need to unlock the unit. Then the unit is locked down. You need to unlock the unit.
To add any section.
Then you can get back to your
And can you delete the heating coil from
yeah
there?
one. Okay. Then you can go back to you.
Okay.
You can add more sections. Now, if you want to delete this coil, see,
Okay.
you can just press.
Okay.
Then it will show you that you are selecting this.
Mhm.
Right click,
Okay.
empty section,
Okay.
delete.
That's
Okay.
Oh.
empty section got deleted, not
Yeah.
the heating coil.
Okay, if you want the heating coil,
Oh, okay.
done.
Now you already have a
Yeah,
Is
this
that
is
an empty section?
no, this is not an empty section. This is minimum requirement space for the black fan.
Okay.
the
So it is
laminarity.
acting as an empty section.
Okay.
For the laminarity of the flow.
So
Okay.
after I did this, just lock it back. It came as question mark. You have to recalculate again because after recalculating, it will give you okay. He's asking you again. He gave you now. He gave us list choices for the fans.
Okay.
Now this is the 1900 RPM. No, this is actually the same fan, but he is giving you options for the motors. 3 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt, 5.5, 7.5.
Okay, but why are the different?
Brake horsepower is the same.
Okay, but why?
dBA is the same.
Oh, it's like oversizing the motor.
Oversizing the motor if you want.
Okay, so.
But
that
the 3 kilowatt is acting perfectly.
Anything to do with?
Nothing. No.
The
data.
absorb power is there,
Absorb
right?
power is the same.
Is the same 3.1.
3.17, 2.7.
Okay.
So just go for the 4 kilowatt because this is, I think,
It's something to do with the
Electric-
starting current.
electrical
Yeah.
power. Just use the 4 kilowatt motor. It's 1 kilowatt motor. This is the normal one.
I think it's a safety which you're giving to the motor. If you have higher one, then it's.
Okay, now it's okay, see?
Now the size has also gone down. It's 3 meters.
Yes.
3 meters. Yeah.
So let's save the unit. For example, we want to print all the units which you have done, not unit by unit.
Okay.
You just go to the outside.
Okay.
This is the project. You just see print.
Okay.
What you would like to print.
Okay.
You have print direct,
Mm-hmm.
and here you can export it as AutoCAD.
Okay.
Okay. Just let's say print direct.
Any Rivet models do you have? 3D
No,
models?
no. Only AutoCAD. This
But
will give you AutoCAD.
Factory can support for 3D model if we.
No, never done before. No,
Okay.
actually, no. Printer is Adobe.
Because we are adapting to Rivet completely.
No.
Anything. Okay.
Then you want data sheet,
Okay.
extended data sheet. It's again same printer, for example.
Okay.
You want the fan curves,
Okay.
model chart. You just every time you have to select that, just same printer. You want to have model chart. Here you can get maintenance contract, print out, specification. Just press OK.
Yeah.
This is all the units inside your project. Whatever you want to print, just click it and take it there.
Yeah.
Click it, take it there.
Okay.
Okay, I made OK.
That happens after pressing printer.
Yeah, now it will print all your units.
Okay.
It will take time, this is a problem.
Okay.
So you have to keep it printing because it will print each and every unit separately. Then you have to combine them together. You have to select.
You can
And you just say downloads now or anything.
Yeah, in downloads. Yeah.
Okay. It's PDF, so it's taking time. If you are directly printing, it will be
Lesser, yeah.
Yeah.
Only one page.
No. This is it will print
Separate page.
separate page for each and every one for drawing, one for fan curve, one file for this one.
Oh, okay.
Then you
Like
have to
Combine it separately.
combine it. Yeah.
Oh, no, top. In the downloads. Yeah. Yeah, but you have to name something.
I don't know why they changed the name. It should come automatically.
Yeah, just press save. Okay.
Why?
Cancel. You can cancel it.
No, cancelling. We are cancelling the.
Oh, this one you can save.
The drawings came correctly, but the
Other one we have to
other
make.
one you have to select
Yes.
file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the drawing, why the page is coming not complete?
Yeah, you might need to change the printer.
So we want to close it. Close it.
Okay. Yeah, there is that.
Now,
Can we start with maybe
fan coordinate.
fan coil
No,
unit and
it's very easy. Fan coordinate very easy.
vertical unit?
Yeah, 5 minutes only. Just do it.
Vertical unit we do had, right? We,
Son, it's in Italian. What is the? Normally there's an option for the English. I have an option. Why this Italian? You send us the Italian one.